Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, we have had good laughs about this guy in the past, but the jokes keep on coming. I am talking of course about Festus Keyamo. Guys, I bring you this. In surprise move, Buhari orders Keyamo Alasho-Adura to swap positions as minister. So that's the headline, and bearing in mind the ministerial list was just released a few weeks ago. So again, the headline: in surprise move, Buhari orders Keyamo Alasho-Adura to swap positions as minister. So now let's see what's going on in the life of this comical guy this time. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday approved a swap of offices for Minister of State for Niger Delta Affairs, Mr. Festus Keyamo, and Minister of State of Labour and Employment, Senator Tayo Alasho-Adura. The development, which was described as a minor reshuffle, came 5 weeks after the ministers were inaugurated. Announcing the development on behalf of the federal government, Mr. Willie Bassi, the Director of Information, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, said the change took effect immediately. The statement affirmed that Mr. Keyamo was directed to move to the Ministry of Labour and Employment as the Minister of State, whilst Senator Alasho-Adura would take over as the Minister of State at the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. So now that's the latest development in the life and times of this rather comical guy, Festus Keyamo, a joker of the highest order. We all recall how we used to go on the telly and scream and shout during the election like some hooligan, and this is a person that is meant to be a senior advocate of Nigeria. When you think of a senior advocate of Nigeria, of course, you think of the erudite Rotimi Williams, you think of the feisty Femi Falana. You certainly don't put this guy in that bracket, but apparently he's a senior advocate of Nigeria. So now he's reacted to this development of the swapping of ministries. So now let's see what Festus has to say. So I'll read you his headline: Festus Keyamo reacts to removal as Niger Delta Minister, reveals next move. So that's his headline. Festus Keyamo reacts to removal as Niger Delta Minister, reveals next move. So now let's see what Festus has to say. Former Minister of State for Niger Delta Affairs. So they've already started to refer to him as a former because of course the swap took immediate effect. So former Minister of State for Niger Delta Affairs, Festus Keyamo, has reacted to his redeployment to the Ministry of Labour. Keyamo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, was moved from the Ministry of Niger Delta to the Ministry of Labour. Reacting to the development, Keyamo wrote on Twitter, "On the move again, 2 portfolios in 2 months, just been redeployed to the Ministry of Labour and Employment to work with my long-time big brother, H.E. Chris Ngige. Thank you, Mr. President, for finding me versatile enough to move around. Always ready to serve in any capacity." So now this is now what this guy is saying, trying to spin the story as though it was a positive thing. But of course, this guy and Okpabio would never have been able to work together. That was our own goal from the get-go. And of course, the Niger Delta region as well is too a region to have 2 hot heads battling each other and locking horns and ignoring the affairs of state that they've been sent there to do. So that was an error from the get-go, and that error has now been amended. But then of course it is Festus Keyamo that's been sacrificed because of course he is the one that is most dispensable. He has no electoral value, he has no real value outside noise making, and really this is a step down for him because they like to say juicy portfolios within the Nigerian space, and the Niger Delta region certainly is a juicy portfolio because of course that is where all of the national wealth of Nigeria is. A good 90 to 95% of the national income is vested within that region, and anybody that holds influence over that region is sitting on a vast pile of opportunities. So that has now been removed from Festus Keyamo, or should I say Festus Keyamo has now been removed from that, and he has now been sent over to the Ministry of Labour and Employment, and that in itself has its own issues because of course he will be contending with Chris Ngige. And that guy, of course, I'm sure he would not be best pleased to have a volatile element like Festus Keyamo deputizing him, because you know that guy is always about sabotage, is about noise making, is about me first and all that kind of behavior. We can see all of those characteristics in him. So I'm sure Akpabio would have been popping the champagne in celebration of this move, whilst Chris Ngige would have been crying into his akamo to say, oh, why me? Why am I being lumbered with this guy who is a loudmouth and a hothead and is just untamable? So now this is now the narrative in Festus Keyamo's life. But of course, he's now trying to tell us that the presidency have identified versatility in him, and that is why this move has been made. But of course, the presidency knew all about him before he was assigned to a particular portfolio in the first instance. And the presidency, Buhari and his team, they know this guy in toto. They know him from head to toe. They worked with him in close quarters. They know what his personality is. They know his strengths and weaknesses, and they know him as a person, and they know who he is. So they would have taken all of that in consideration before they assigned him a portfolio. So then deciding to assign him a portfolio in the Niger Delta region, you have to first question the reasoning behind that. So the first port of call, of course, is to say there's no reasoning behind that, because you can't really attribute reasoning to Malam Buhari and the cabal. They just do all these things just really, if it doesn't affect them and their religion and their ethnicity, they don't really care. So that's the first port of call. But the real port of call is also to say, look, this guy is high maintenance and we don't really want him around the corridors of Abuja. So let's send him to that region and have him vested within that region, so he's as far away removed as possible, so we don't have to contend with him and his noise making and his hothead. So that is one of the things that they might have considered. And they might also consider that, okay, this Akpabio has been agitating for a ministerial post. This guy, obviously, and the other guy being Festus Keyamo, wants to reward him for all of the things that he did during the electioneering campaign. So let's just lump these two elements together and let them go and be fighting and making noise in the far distance, and we don't really care. But what now seems to have transpired is that that is too volatile a mix. The mix of Akpabio and Keyamo is just too potent a mix, and it will either implode or explode. One of the two will happen in the nearest future. These are just two people that cannot work together. Their personalities are too big. Their ego is too big. Their need for attention is too big. They both want to occupy the same space in the spotlight. So you cannot imagine that these people could ever work in tandem. And that is really a failing in the system, not to understand the strengths and weaknesses of the personnel and slot him where those strengths and weaknesses can be best put to use. So a failing on the part of Buhari and his team, but then of course we take that as a given anyway in most instances. So now Festus Keyamo now has now been moved around. So now him now trying to put a spin on it does not obviously work. So now let's now look back at the trajectory of this guy. So this guy was at the forefront of that electoral campaign for the Buhari team. He fought tooth and nail. He abused a lot of people. He was aggressive and bombastic and loud in the mouth every time you saw him, to the point that people were fed up of him, and it was Buhari all the way. So he did that much that they felt that they couldn't just cut him loose. So now he then made the ministerial list, and when he made the ministerial list, he was going around all of the media houses talking about the things that he would do when he's appointed, or if he's appointed as the Minister for Justice. So this was what was in his mind, and this was sort of the subtle messaging that he was trying to put out into the public consciousness and into the consciousness of the decision makers. But of course, that was never going to be the case. For the last 28, almost 30 years, we have not had a non-northerner being the Minister of Justice in the country. We had an aberration with Walter Onoge, who was appointed by Yemi Oshibanjo, and as soon as Buhari came back, they quickly got rid of him him and put a malam there. So he was never going to get that position, but he was talking about that position at every media outing that he went on. So that was his dream job, and that was what he was agitating and lobbying for, both publicly and privately. So now, not only did he not get that justice ministerial posting, he did not even get anything within the Ministry of Justice at all. And bear in mind, he's a senior advocate of Nigeria, by the way, so that is really where his strength is in law, but they've completely ignored that, of course. He's a Niger Delta boy, so put him amongst his own people and have him go battle it out. So he lost out there, and then he also lost out in a senior ministerial posting. So he got a sub post as a deputy for a minister. So he lost out twice. He lost out one on being the Minister of Justice, and then he lost out again on being a minister at all. So they now gave him a Minister of State position, which is a deputy minister, and that would have been enough for him to go out in the public and say that yes, I served the party well and I continue to be at the party's behest, but I have ignored my chambers for too long and I have a pile of work that I need to get back to. I shall go back into private life but continue to be championing the cause of President Buhari. So he should have declined that Minister of State. He did not. So they slotted him under Akpabio, who he tried to put in jail, by the way. We all know that. So double humiliation there, which is now triple humiliation now if we are counting all of the humiliations that have been invested on this guy. So now, on top of all of the humiliations, they've now humiliated him even more, because Akpabio has now phoned them to say, look, I cannot work with this guy. He's too clownish, he's too volatile, he's too headstrong, and I just cannot bear him. So now Akpabio has now said, get rid of him because I don't want him. So they've now had to swap him round within 2 months of appointment. So if within 2 months they've had to swap him round, why could they then not, having now taken over 6 months to appoint him in the first place, make that decision to put him in the right slot in the first place? So of course there's been murmurings in the Niger Delta region, especially from the minister for that space, which is of course God's will, or what's his first name, Akpabio, let's just call him Akpabio, which is of course coming from Akpabio to say that, look, I can't not work with this guy, get rid of him, and get rid of him they did. So now this clownish guy is now trying to put a spin on it now to say that they've seen versatility in him. What thing have you done in 2 months that you have achieved enough for them to now second you again to another ministry, and not just to replace somebody but as a swap round? So clearly it wasn't a fit is really what they're saying. So it is either this guy moved from the Ministry of Labor and Employment, Tayo Alasho Adura, it is either he is not suited, and there's nothing to say that he is not suited to his post or for his post, or Festus Keyamo is not suited to working with Akpabio, and that is more believable because everybody raised an eyebrow when we saw that mix. We said, everybody said that this is something that was never going to work, and it's only taking really 2 months for it to fall apart. So of course it is now that mix of Akpabio and Keyamo that's triggered this to lead to them having to swap them round. So this Alasho Adura now goes to Akpabio. So Akpabio now has a quiet life, but then now this Keyamo comes to Chris Ngige, and then Chris Ngige's life now will be a torment. They would have of course phoned round all of the ministers to say, please, can any of you work with this guy? We will double your salary, we will give you something extra, just accommodate him, even if for 12 months, just manage him so we can reward him a little bit, and we kick him out shortly. And I can bet you that Festus Keyamo is not going to last the time with that Chris Ngige. He'll be there for 12-18 months, and they will just quietly ease him out. Maybe they'll put him in some parastatal or something, or they just cut him loose completely, because he's just too volatile and too wild a person for anybody to work with. He's one of those sort of people, and a lot of people have them at work, that feel that the number one spot should be this. So they're a team member, and at every team meeting, they are always piping up and always trying to undermine and always trying to show that they know more than the people that are leading them, because of course they feel that they should be in the lead. So Festus Keyamo is exactly one of those kind of characters, and no matter how experienced and patient Chris Ngigi is, he would come to the end of his tethers very soon with this sort of fella. Conversations in the comment section around this, Keyamo, the clownish guy, being tossed around by the Malamis. This is a topic of conversation that I am inviting. But before you come share your thoughts with me in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then let me know what you're making of this funny thing, 2 months in and being swapped around Festus Keyamo, in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in comments, but here I say peace.